What's happening, guys? Welcome back. Wake Up Barstool. It is Tuesday. We got a great show planned for you today. Michigan wins the national championship. I think we're all just very happy for Dave. He really, a lot of sports strife in that man's life. Plus, we got Ryen Russillo coming on a bit later. May have a special guest. We'll see. Nikki's cooked up another Venn Diagram for us. We got Supreme Debate. It's going to be a very fun show. It all starts now on FS1. What's happening, guys? Welcome in. T-Bob, Big Cat, Eddie, Nikki, and Stephen Cheah with you today. Tuesday, back. And Michigan takes care of business, beats UConn 69-63, wins the national championship. First national championship for Michigan since the late 80s. First in the Big Ten in about almost 3 decades as well. How about it, guys?
Hail to the victors.
How about it? Great, great, great. To know we're all very happy for Boss Man.
Yeah, listen, it's good that he gets a win. It's hard for him to get wins. You can tell. Here's the thing, and I do want to talk about the game, but Dave is almost like bored with winning, because if I ever were back in a spot to win a national title in college basketball, like, I wouldn't win the national title and then start FaceTiming Brandon Walker and Will Compton. I would be in a puddle of tears and celebrating with my friends and at bars. Like, if the Bears ever win a Super Bowl, I don't think my first thought would be like, I'm gonna rub it in the Packers' face. I'd be like, the Bears just won the Super Bowl. But Dave has won so much that it's like, this is just the next evolution.
It's not even like Brandon's an Ohio State guy.
No.
It's just he was like, okay, I need to call somebody.
Right.
Brandon's an SEC guy, football guy.
And this isn't a criticism of Dave, because I do think he was very happy. He loved this team. I'm just saying, like, this is the evolution of once you win so much, it's almost like winning isn't enough. You have to, it's shoving it into everyone else's face.
Is there any aspect of the mercenary factor here or no?
What do you mean?
Like, if they watch
the transfer portal?
Exactly. Like, if it's still Vlad and Danny Wolf and you see those guys fail and then they win, there is a little bit more triumph, right?
It's a good point, because I think it's a tricky, like, topic to broach, because it's really hard to talk about it without sounding salty when you talk about this Michigan team, because I do think there is a large group of people online and out and talking about this championship game, this championship season, who sound incredibly salty by saying, well, they got all 5 transfers. And that's just college basketball now.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, yes, I think if you gave truth serum to Michigan fans, winning a title with guys that have been there for a long time definitely feels different than winning a title with transfers. Doesn't really matter what, like, how you do it. You still won the title. You still flags fly forever. But yeah, of course, if you like had to say, hey, what was your best way to do it? It'd be guys that have been there for 4 years. Mm-hmm. But I also, you know what I mean about the salty thing?
Yeah, no.
It does sound salty right now.
Right,
I would kill for that.
I am not one person to say, like, oh man, they just bought their class. This is something that I wouldn't want. Listen,
they
the
assembled
Badgers
their
want
team
to
by
do
the
this.
guidelines.
Please do this. Yeah,
Well, and
please do this. I would love to win a title.
There's countless examples of people buying rosters. I mean, look at UNC had top 10 expensive roster. Look at Kentucky, like all over the place. It's a credit to Dusty May. I think not just in
phenomenal
scouting,
coach,
scouting to know who to bring in, but then also, like, these guys were bought in. I mean, look at Yaxel, right? Like, bright future ahead of him. Agent, even in the last game, Agent kind of pressured him to stay on the bench, mom pressure, and he's like, no, I'm leaving it all out here for the team. And again, that's a credit to him, but it's also a credit to May. And really, if you look at the Michigan team, it was an unselfish team. Like, it was kind of a different guy's night whenever they need it. Like, Elliot Cadeau ends up being the Final Four MVP. Amongst all the Giants, it's a 6'1" guard who ends up taking it home. So, yeah, like, I agree with you. It's transient. It's different. But it's really a sign of how good May is in this modern era.
Yeah, and Elliot Cadeau was, UNC fans were frustrated with him, so it's like you wouldn't want him anymore. Mm-hmm. Mara was off the bench at UCLA last year. He was such a game changer. So, yeah, I mean, there's no asterisks on this title. There's nothing that changes this. They were the best team, maybe best team of all time conversation with how they dominated this season and what they did against the peak of like the competition. They went and played the #1 team in November in Gonzaga, and they beat them by like 40.
Yeah.
They went and played the #1 team, according to Ken Pom, in Arizona 2 days ago. They beat them like 4. I know the game was only 19. They could have beaten them by 40. This team, every time they had to play someone elite, they just stepped up and absolutely wasted them. And the tournament, other than last night, was a cakewalk for them, and they were just so good. They were dominant.
People were calling the tournament a dud.
Yeah, I know. People love to do this.
There was a lot of blowouts.
Of course there were.
If you want to tell me this weekend was a dud, I'll buy that.
Yeah. Listen, last night was a game that if you look at the final score, you're like, hey, this game was pretty close. UConn covered 69-63. I think you guys agree. I had a big future on UConn. I had them 25-1. I was rooting for them hard. I never at any moment thought that UConn was going to win the game.
No.
And I don't mean that in any disrespect to UConn, because I think they played their guts out. They battled as hard could be. But what it felt like watching that game was Michigan is the better team, and they're just having the worst shooting night possible, and they're still winning. They didn't hit a 3 for like 30 minutes of gameplay, and they were still comfortably a 5 to 7 point lead all game. Felt like 20, did it not?
Oh yeah, they were outgunned.
So
right.
do you think UConn fans are like fine today? Like we had no chance?
I actually don't.
Okay.
Because I think UConn had an incredible game plan last night, and they actually, if you look at how they played, the pace was perfect for them. Mm-hmm. They out-rebounded them. Yes, you can talk about the refs, but UConn plays aggressive defense. UConn fouled a lot during the season, and Michigan didn't. That was two teams that kind of played true to form. So UConn had Michigan, like they got the terrible shooting night from Michigan, which is partially defense. They got, they out-rebounded a bigger team than them. They didn't turn the ball over a ton. They just didn't hit any threes. That's it. If you script that game out and how UConn's going to win the national title last night, it was that script, and it's just like Braylon Mullins goes, 5 for 9, not 3 for 10. Mm-hmm. Alex Karabrand goes 4 for 7, not, I don't know what he ended up with, 1 for 9. Like that was it. They were there. They just had to make a couple shots. They couldn't make the shots.
Damari didn't have a great game.
That would be what would eat me alive, is being like, because if you get blown out, you're like, all right, that team was so much better. They had the game plan. Yeah. They had the recipe. The last piece of the recipe was they had to hit their threes. Because I said it during the game, watching that game, and I knew this because I'm a Big Ten guy and I watched a lot of Michigan this year. What Michigan did at the rim to UConn changed how UConn was playing basketball, changed how UConn was shooting the ball, changed how Terrace Reed was taking, hook shots and all this stuff. They were so good at rim denial, and they were blocking so many shots that it gets in your head, and you would see guys like afraid to go into the lane, afraid to take, floaters. They were just that good at the rim. It was so impressive to watch.
Well, and it's like I don't watch as much Big Ten basketball the entire regular season as you do. But that what you're talking about there gave the feeling, and I think this is probably true, that Michigan was just clearly a better team, just top to bottom, bigger, stronger, faster. And in a lot of weird ways, it's a credit to UConn, a very flawed version of UConn, maybe compared to some of the other teams of the past, that they even managed to make it this close. Like you said, they still had some of that, because we talked about it yesterday. On paper, Michigan was clearly better. What's the pathway to UConn winning this game? And the main element was Michigan not shooting well.
Yeah, Michigan not shooting well, and they did. I mean, they scored all their points in the paint. They didn't shoot well.
But Michigan was still too good. And Michigan's defense has been the story the entire year. What was it? 5 tournament games, they had over 90 points. Mm-hmm. They won by double digits. I think they were first or second team to ever do that. But the defense was what really stood out, not just the entire tournament, but the entire year. And in the end, it's the defense that ends up winning the national championship.
Yeah, I was saying before to Eddie, the only moment that I was like, oh, this could be a game, was there was a sequence when it was a 7-point game and Braylon Mullins had a 3-point attempt to make it a 4-point game with about 5 minutes left. And that was the only moment that I was like, if this goes, I'm in.
So not the Karabrand shot with 40 seconds left?
No.
Because that was, they're down 4.
There was one before that when they cut it to within 4, and then there was like a bad sequence.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
and then a dunk.
they hit a 3,
Yeah,
and it was a
yeah,
7.
yeah.
That was,
The 3. Yes,
They cut
yes.
it to
McKinney
6,
hit
from
the
9
3.
to 6, and then he came back and hit the
McKinney
3
hit
to
the
push it
3.
to 9, and that felt like that. Which again, though, credit to
There it
UConn,
is.
still insane that they had a 3 with 40 seconds left to go down 1.
Yeah, that's
in a
what-
game that felt like they didn't have a chance.
That's why to answer Nick's question, I think I'd be pretty upset today, just because you did do everything except make the 3s.
I'm all for finding a cope. I'm not good at like healing and getting
Yeah.
over stuff. So I would be like, yeah, this is the best we could do against a team we couldn't beat.
I do feel bad for a guy like Terrace Reed this morning, and I know that he actually like made a great decision to go to UConn because he became a lot better. But think about it, Terrace Reed, the 2 schools he played for in the last 4 years are UConn and Michigan, and they won 3 out of 4 national titles, and he didn't win it.
got the Berrien house. So.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, he flourished this year, so it's the right decision long term. He's gonna get paid well. Mara's incredible. Like he made a ton of money in the last 2 days. That was really what, last night was almost like a game for basketball dummies in that the taller guys win usually. You know what I mean?
It's what it felt like watching these
Mara
kids
has
play.
a 7'7" wingspan. The taller guys win. Michigan was able to just bully them in the paint. I think they scored like it was pretty much all their points in the paint and the free throw line. I mean, yeah, because they only hit 2 threes. That's just, the taller guys win.
So you mentioned the free throw line. You kind of touched on it earlier. Maybe just get everybody on the record. A lot of people talking about the foul disparity, talking about the free throw disparity. I didn't feel it, right? Like watching the game, I never felt like anything was out of order, being called unfairly. Like you said, I think it's due to style of play. Also, obviously, Michigan has a lead late in the game, which is going to skew those numbers a bit. But it is something people are talking about online today.
Yeah. And that's how people are going to have to cope. I understand it. If you're a UConn fan, you have to do this. You have to screenshot this foul disparity, screenshot Elliot Cadeau flopping or pushing someone. You have to do this. For everyone else, I wish there were less fouls, but again, UConn plays that style.
What did Dan Hurley have to say about the officiating?
It's hard to ref that game. We both played so hard. I mean, that's not an easy, game to officiate. And if I could have those 3 guys ref, every game the rest of my career, I would sleep well at night.
Wow. There you go.
Okay.
That's about the most measured take you've ever heard from a head coach who just suffered a loss.
He's not saying that
magnitude.
lightly.
No. Especially not Hurley, right? Like,
exactly.
if he believed that it was wrong, he would straight up tell you that it was wrong.
And I think he knows, like, they were outgunned.
Yeah.
And they fought so hard. That would be the proud part if you're a UConn fan. It's like they didn't roll over. They fought to the bitter end.
Yeah. And
that team was not the most talented team.
He carried himself with the kind of composure of a man who knows he brought a lesser team to the fight.
Correct.
And did everything he could.
And
that's what everybody wants you to do. You want to be able to look at the mirror at the end of the day and say, okay, did I do everything within my power? And I do believe UConn did that.
And 18-1 against the spread in the last 4 years in the tournament. That is such a bonkers number.
That's crazy.
Their only loss was Furman against the spread, which I think I'm pretty sure I had UConn week 1 or the first round. I do have one other loser from last night.
Who's that?
I have one other loser from last night, and I think we all can agree. It's Duke.
Oh, I thought you were going to make it Cheah somehow.
Duke watched this game last night, and they're like, wow, did we blow it? We were better than UConn. We had a 19-point lead. We played Michigan on a neutral court a month and a half ago, and we beat them, and we blew it. If you're a Duke fan, you've got to be sick.
They blew it.
Oh,
I mean, what do you want me to say? They
you gotta
absolutely
be
blew it.
sick.
Did that cross your mind yesterday?
No, because I had a week to kind of,
Recover.
Eddie doesn't care about Duke anymore because this recent crop of boys is gone.
Right.
He just loved these
Get
boys.
some new boys.
Yeah, he just loved this crop. They're done. He's already moved on. He's got to see whether or not he likes the next table.
Is Duke a more interesting game?
I don't care. Duke lost, and it was the most interesting game. That was the most interesting game.
But
I'm shocked Dave actually hasn't said that he's calling in today. Kind of maybe lost his fastball.
I mean, he already got to talk to Brandon. I think that's all. That's the only person he wanted to talk to.
It's to your point, Dan. It's kind of to your point. He's a little tired of winning. He's having to work up the energy to be excited about this.
He can just dust off the script from what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
We haven't touched on it either. Like Dusty May is in the elite class now.
Yeah.
Bro, what were they 8-24 when he showed up?
Yeah.
And now they're 64-13 over the past two seasons.
Scouting that game too, the Illinois UConn game was so awesome.
Well, that was the moment where I was like, that Michigan is not losing to Arizona, because Dusty May making the decision to go out there, be photographed, scouting a game. 2 hours before his national semifinal game against the best team in the country up until that point. That's the most memeable moment possible if you lose. Yeah. So you don't go out there unless you're very confident that you're going to win the game.
Which is crazy because I thought that was going to be a great game, and Arizona got their doors.
Yeah, right. And so, Dusty May is an incredible coach. 2 Final Fours with 2 different teams, now a national championship. He is not taking any other college basketball jobs. Did you notice that?
Oh, he said college basketball.
Yeah. He's not taking any other college basketball jobs. So why would you,
It's interesting too. You hire a guy like they hire him from FAU. You go on one of those Final Four runs. You never quite know. Okay, was that just like? Did everything just come together for that guy and they had a little magic? Well, no. He's now shut any of that down. He's just proved out objectively good. He is also this doesn't always happen. That's not a negative, but I think we would all agree that the best basketball team won the national championship, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't always happen in the tournament. It's hard in a single elimination tournament. Actually, I disagree. Duke was the best team.
That's true. They probably
Duke was the best team.
So wait, why didn't help me out, production? Can you show why wasn't Duke in this game? Could you maybe? They were winning.
This will be what I think about.
They're winning this game big, weren't they?
This will
We're
be
a takeaway for Michigan.
There it
This
is.
is what I think about. By the way, we also, I know we can talk about this game more, but the Big Ten just runs the world.
Yeah. Well,
and it stinks that I can't really do, my Big Ten shtick because Dave's team won. But national title in football 3 years in a row, women's national title at UCLA, national title in basketball. Everything's just Big Ten.
We'll get to that and more coming up next. Don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool. Welcome back, Wake Up Barstool. Yes, Michigan wins a national championship.
I've texted Dave, by the way. I said, do you want to come on? So we'll see.
Okay. We actually had some feelers out to him as well. So I imagine we'll be hearing from him. We'll end up seeing. We have a couple others out for maybe some guests. We'll see, whatever. The Big Ten, though, now, men's national champs, women's, it's still a little weird that UCLA counts the Big Ten, but it is the nature of the beast now. Women's national champ, back-to-back football titles. Apparently, they've got women's hockey.
Whoa, apparently.
I didn't know.
5 out of the last 7 years, the Badgers have won the national title.
I guess that.
Some respect on the dynasty,
I forgot that's where Wisconsin is adding to the Big Ten.
Oh,
next.
that was
My bad.
disgusting.
All you do is dig yourself in a deeper hole.
5 out of 7.
I just can't.
You know how dominant that is?
I can't get right with Dave and Dan.
5 out of 7.
I can't.
Also, the only 2 that were in that 7 stretch is Ohio State's. That's still Big Ten.
You know what? I apologize. How about Northwestern? Eddie, you know what Northwestern won?
Field hockey.
Field hockey.
Okay. Got it. Nailed it.
Dynasty.
Almost said lacrosse. Yeah.
Field hockey national champs. Men's water polo.
Close though.
Sorry.
Penn State Wrestling's apparently won 5 national championships in a row.
Yeah.
It's beach volleyball. UCLA's number 1 in baseball. So for whatever reason, in this modern era of college sports.
What do you mean for whatever reason?
I'm an SEC guy. I thought we had it.
For whatever reason.
What? So y'all have just always been richer, but not as willing to cheat?
Yeah, we play by the rules, T-Bob. You never played by the rules. Now the rules have changed, and you can't play, and you can't.
You know Penn State and Ohio. So
yeah,
look at the head coaches.
Rules.
Look at the head coaches of my favorite college. I don't care.
You guys finally the rules changed, and now everyone can pay everyone. And oops, looks who has the most money.
Yeah. I guess y'all were always a bit more whatever.
That's the problem. Michigan has the most money. They're never going to run out of money.
Yeah.
That's the killer in this.
Is it all Ellison or is it?
I think Michigan just has so many graduates.
They're massive.
So many, It's
like Michigan, Penn State, and Indiana. I think have the 3 largest alumni bases in the entire country.
Yeah.
But so Big Ten, congratulations.
Big Ten.
Take about SEC. Get it together, Greg Sankey. Come on.
But we should say, while we're talking championships,
I love you, Greg. Just kidding.
the crown.
Nobody said anything
West
to
Virginia.
me.
I said it on Sunday.
That was nice.
Yep,
You
I
texted.
apologize.
Yes,
That was
yes.
a very nice
text
text.
and a tweet.
And no, because look, you're good, but for all you other media guys, you said we'd never do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
true.
You
did.
said
I
we'd
did.
never do it.
I did.
And look at us now.
Did you watch the game?
What game?
Look, we have it.
Actually, it was an exciting game.
Yeah, it was
Came
good.
back.
The whole tournament was great.
Yeah.
We have it in the document to
Mm-hmm.
ask Russillo about whether or not West Virginia can be the next Nebraska next year.
I mean, yeah. There's only
there you
2
go.
teams that have won a crown, an NIT, and 1 NCAA tournament game,
Wait.
at least.
You have that in that. That's not real, right?
Okay, no, okay.
Okay, I was
so-
gonna say. I was like, don't
so-
ask him that.
So,
There's no way he knows that.
so it is.
Boys, can you shut up?
The second
We're
I said
watching
that,
highlights.
production's freaking out and saying no. They're saying
Who wrote that question? I
No.
want to know. That's the worst question.
okay. Now production. is
Now
claiming-
you have to ask that question.
Now production is claiming it's below Russillo as a different talking point for
we
us.
have to ask Russillo. Che, you're gonna have to ask Russillo that.
I'll ask Russillo that, dude. I
Can
mean,
West Virginia be next year's? Can West Virginia be this year's Nebraska next year?
this year's Nebraska next year. Yes,
It's a
that's
little
correct.
wordy, but I get it.
What about okay?
That is maybe the worst question.
He's going to close out the Zoom.
West Virginia wins the crown. Auburn won the NIT. Who's going to be next year's Nebraska? Auburn or West Virginia? See, there you go. Russillo's going to eat that up,
That's
dude.
a thinker.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That really puts you in a twist. You're twisting. I don't even know. Yeah, that's a
For
question.
the record, I would love for West Virginia to be next year's Nebraska.
See, there you go. Thank
Yeah.
you, Nikki.
Sweet 16, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out Mountaineers. All right.
No, but then you would lose to Pitt.
Oh.
Yeah, losing
No,
to
it's
Pitt in
not
the
worth
Sweet
it.
16
It's
would
not
be
worth
brutal.
it. It's not worth it.
Especially because that means Pitt would be good again.
No, give me another crown next
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Let's
Get the
stack
crown.
'em.
Double up on the crown.
Yeah.
So in other major college basketball news, Mike Malone hired
Michael.
Mike. I can't say Mike.
He likes to go by Michael.
Okay,
That's
I
the Che knows.
Yep.
He goes by Michael.
This is
For
like a
ex-people, yeah.
Trubisky
Yes.
situation.
Michael.
Like to go by Mitchell.
Michael.
Michael Malone, excuse me, hired to be UNC's next head coach. A name that didn't come out of nowhere, but everybody was talking Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan wanted to finish the season, didn't want to leave the NBA early, so he ended up getting out of the mix. And now Malone going to be wearing the Carolina blue. I think. Okay, so I think this, or would you agree with this? Has there ever been a better time to be an NBA coach going to the college ranks?
No, because you have more control.
Yeah.
You have more control. See, and that to me is the thing that I would be most excited about if I was Michael Malone, was like if you read about the breakup in Denver, it all had to do with the front office. And Malone's long-term vision for the team versus the GM's long-term vision. They had salary cap issues that had led them to shuttling some pieces they didn't want to get rid of. Now that he's going to be in college, he's going to have everything. Like he's going to be able to form the roster every once. He'll have all the money. So it's going to be on him. Like if he fails, it's completely on him. But for Malone himself, that has to be attractive.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they have a good base there, but school administrators are still school administrators, too.
You want him to fail.
Wait,
I don't want him to fail.
hold
I
on.
thought it was a
Duke
Dan,
fan.
you have your earpiece.
Oh, Dave's here?
Dave's here. We'll get back to Malone right now. Hail to the victor. There he is. Dave Portnoy, the block letter M, hang another banner. Dave, congrats, man.
Thank you. I tuned in. And the first sentence I heard was T-Bob, you saying, was there ever a better time to be? And I thought for all of the money in the world, the following part was a Michigan Wolverine.
Yeah,
Is there a better time ever to be a Michigan Wolverine? I didn't know we were talking Mike Malone and UNC. It's a great time. It was an ugly game. And, you know, I'm thinking, I'm here in Indiana. You guys were here a little bit earlier. And I just sent a couple photos, and I don't know if we can put them up. But I vowed revenge for my good friend, Danny Boy. This very arena in Indianapolis that I sat with Dan and watched him get his guts ripped out by Wisconsin. And we saw the whole thing in Duke and revenge. And I was there for it. And my heart broke. And I vowed on that day, fellas.
No, you didn't.
I said, I will avenge my friend Danny.
No, you did
And
not.
I will get
You made me do a rundown and you rubbed it in my face.
You forgot the vowel that day?
I said I will get revenge for Dan in this in this lifetime and the next. At this same arena, a Big Ten school finally closes the deal, gets the national championship, and it's a great time to be a Michigan Wolverine. After the football debacle and the butter knife, people are wondering fairly, is this the end of Michigan sports? And then Dusty May comes in and instantly turns the program around. They're the best program in basketball. I think they're preseason #1 already next year. They could go back to back. You have Michigan State fans infighting with each other online. People who promised to delete their accounts still have their accounts. They're all yelling at each other. Tom Izzo took him, 20-something years to win one? I know PMT boys love him. I'd love that question next time he's on there. Hey, it took you over 2 decades to get one national championship. It took Dusty May 27 minutes to get his first. We have a hockey national championship this weekend. Wisconsin's in it.
Yeah.
Water polo Friday night. So it's an everything school. It's a great victory. And I said this, I tweeted it. I can't recommend this strongly enough. To be able to watch one shining moment from your seat with the confetti still falling down, with your team still on the floor, it just hits so differently. Like, one shining moment is great, but it's just a totally different ball game when it's your team cutting down the net. So it was an ugly game. I think if those two teams play 100 times, Michigan probably wins 99. They shot as poorly as you could possibly shoot. Still total control. Got a little close at the end, but yeah, it's always a different championship for me. I don't know what to say.
Well, so we started the show. I agree. It was UConn actually played like this exact style and game plan they needed. They just didn't make the threes. Like they had to shoot 40% from 3 to win that game last night, but everything else went their way in terms of
They mucked it up.
They mucked it up. But we started the show and I said that you're so like you've won so much. It's not even you win and you don't even celebrate. You just like rub it in everyone else's face because you're on that level of winning. Where like you're winning and you're not like, oh my God, what a moment. You're like, get me Brandon Walker on the phone because you've won so much. You know, the first championships is like, yeah, let's party. I can't believe it happened. Now it's so routine to you. You're like, where are my haters?
Yeah.
I want to rub it in their face.
The Viva La Stool made a count of all my championships since we started Barstool, and I think there's like 15 or 16 of them, and they're all major. They're all major.
Well, they counted ZD. They counted ZD in the dozen,
Right.
which
That's
rigged
still a
for
major.
you.
No.
That's rigged for you. Yeah. Oh wait, who was in the suite with you? Was it the commissioner of the dozen?
Jeff D. Lowe was in the suite.
Okay,
with
so
you.
ZD 2026
Yeah,
champions.
Fine, look, I don't care. You want to
Congratulations.
Well, fine. We got 14, 15. I didn't even count them up. I don't even know what we had. But to be dead serious, I think this is the first of many. Dusty May is going to be there for a long time. And
Ooh, I disagree.
where do you think he's going?
NBA. Did you see his statement?
The one they said maybe down the road?
No, he said he is not. He said no to North Carolina, and he said he has no interest in any other college coaching jobs. Why would you say college coaching jobs?
Well, he has no interest in college. I could see him doing the NBA down the road.
I think it'll be NBA.
Dave, did the title?
Yeah, but NBA when? In like a decade?
No, I think like in the next few years.
Nah, we're gonna stack them high and let them fly.
All you got to do is like 1 year where you like are sick of the transfer portal and having like you get one bad transfer portal where you're like, I got the wrong guys, and someone's like, hey, we'll pay you more money to not have to do the transfer portal every year and be gone to the NBA.
Yeah, it's worse dealing with the NBA guys, and he's the master of the transfer portal. Like he was built for this era. You have a lot of people they're the biggest crybabies in the world, being like, "Oh my God, they have transfers." It's like, yeah, that's like we're in the NIL era. Like, what do you expect to happen? But he gets every guy he wants. They're preseason #1. He gets the buy-in. He had 5 superstars, maybe more. They come at you in such waves. So it was 100%. Which wasn't surprising as for UConn, but 95% Michigan crowd. And again, there's no rest for the weary. There's national championships coming up, but there's nothing left. Now, there's nothing. I have them all.
Was it a little less sweet that it was a team full of mercenaries, or how did that feel?
No, see, Eddie, this is why we stopped the Dave Portnoy show, because I just said people who get upset about it doesn't change it at all. This is the era we're in. Does Indiana think their championship in football is less sweet because they're able to go get Mendoza? It's the era. If you don't adapt, you die. So we're the best at this. It's not, no, it's not even an ounce less sweet.
Dave, you started this by saying you did it for me in
Yeah.
Indianapolis. I appreciate that. So I assume you took me up on my offer because I actually made the offer on Sunday to Dave via text, documented. I had a future to win $250,000 on UConn. He had a future to win $500,000 on Michigan. And I said, hey, why don't we just say whoever wins, we just split it 50-50.
That's very nice.
And so I assume that's what you're doing, right?
Dan, I had the pen out, the black ink. I was going to sign it, and then the Red Sox blew like a 3-run lead in an inch. So I need every cent of that because the Red Sox, and I don't want to go off a tangent, they lost again. I think they're 2-8. They've played 10 games. They've been favored in 9 of them. They're playing Milwaukee today. I still got to bet it. They're minus 150. The Brewers are the best team in baseball. We're the worst. We just keep getting favored. I'm beginning to think this is God's way of exacting revenge on me for all my championships.
Yeah, and the Brewers, by the way, we got a problem as Cubs fans with the Brewers. They have a pet turtle. I don't know if you saw it, but that's a championship-winning move. They have a turtle like on a leash in the clubhouse. That is a championship-winning move.
Tough.
You play the Red Sox every day. That's a championship-winning move too. But I'm not gonna let them get me down. Like I said, this was and I'm not even exaggerating. I went back and I did look at those pictures of you in Wisconsin, knowing how much it means to you to get one. Like seeing you that devastated, that heart ripped out. Like, yes, the Patriots lost the Super Bowl, devastating. It wasn't that close. But in my life, you just move on because you're like, all right, well, another door is about to open. And it does. I'm not in the school of thought where it's like, oh my God, we missed our boat. We missed our opportunity. We're not going to have another one. It's just, is it coming in the next 5 minutes? Is it the next train? Or is it 2 trains down the road? But another championship is coming for me. And it always does. It's amazing. Now, I mean, hockey, whatever. But the Celtics, I mean, the Celtics are going to be in the finals. So you just got to keep ready. The next one's coming. I have the Celtics at 10-1 to win the championship, to win $1 million. They're down to 4 or 5-1. But it's one thing after another. It is crazy charm sports life. And I have to remind myself and ground myself by looking at pictures like you, be like, this guy may never be in a championship again.
Listen, we did a rundown after, and I think my exact words was, I will never be in this spot again, and Bo Ryan will probably just walk off into the woods and like find a nice warm log and die. And pretty much all that's happened in the last. He's still alive, still love Bo Ryan, but he was gone. He was gone like a year later, and we've never been back. We've never been close to back.
Is your point guard you love? Is that point guard you love coming to play for us?
Yeah, I mean, Dusty May has been tampering with him for a while now. I've heard you guys, maybe Illinois. I've also heard Duke, which I was actually in the shower this morning and I was like, if John Blackwell goes to Duke, like how am I going to spin this? Like, if they win it all, am I like, you needed us?
It's one of the good boys.
Yeah, he's one of the good boys. He's
Yeah, so maybe
maybe
you have the most money too. So
wait, so look, it's really nice though to hear Dave doing this for you, and I know you feel like you've been vindicated.
It would be nice if we split our futures. That would have been nice.
So y'all are in a good spot now.
Blame the Red
But
Sox.
boys, Frozen 4 this weekend.
Well, we're not
I mean,
playing against
guys.
each other.
I know.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but you could do. We
Saturday could be a big one.
Championship match.
Saturdays could be a monumental Michigan versus Wisconsin championship game, and Dave and I will be sitting in the nosebleeds of the United Center with Elio trying to win an over on a 1-0 Blackhawks game. That could be the scene.
I tried to get out of IceCon. I've been traveling so much. I texted him being like, my family's coming over Friday night. I'd have to fly in Saturday morning. He's like, well, just fly in. So I'm stuck at IceCon.
You can't say no to him?
I couldn't say no to it. I really don't want to go to that. It's like I've been traveling so much. I go to these championship events, and then I'm going to the Blackhawks game to root for goals. It's like a disaster.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me on. Again,
Congratulations. I
next
did say
man up
congrats. I texted you congrats last night.
Yep, I appreciated that. Thank you very much. And again, it's a great day to be Michigan Wolverine. It's a great day to be Dave Portnoy, except for the Red Sox. But whatever, they can't all be aces.
Is it a good day to be Mutt? This ended up being a net positive.
I think it's for the best for Mutt.
Yes.
I think it's for the best for Mutt.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
so as
Long term, that last night's result probably added like 10 years to his contract.
Yeah, and UConn fans have nothing. They played their guts out. They're there every year. I would be very proud of UConn if I was a UConn fan. It got dicey there for a minute when we missed the free throws and the turnover, but Michigan's the better team.
Yeah, that was clear. Now, National Champs. Dave, thank you so much, man. Congrats.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
All right, coming up next, we can kind of revisit the Malone conversation to UNC. We got plenty more. We got Cheah's mock draft 3.0 coming up as well. Don't go anymore. More Wake Up Barstool.
3.0.
3.0.
Already.
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. So college basketball is at an end, which means the next thing that comes into focus is going to be the NFL draft. That's why I'm so pleased that on Tuesday's Wake Up Barstool, we have a true NFL expert and draft expert, a genius, some have said, when it comes to data, prediction, knowing things, and that is our guy, Stephen Cheah, who has a mock draft 3.0, Steve. Wow, 3.0.
3.0.
Bring us through it. Tell us what's going to happen.
It's live on BarstoolSports.com. You can read the whole thing now. I feel like there's, as have been in prior years, a little bit less drama at the top. We got Fernando Mendoza going number 1. I don't think that's any surprise. The betting odds are like minus a cajillion on that. There have been some rumors Arvell Reese could go number 2 to the Jets. I could certainly see that. I like David Bailey a little bit better. He's just more of a defined edge rusher in today's game. I feel like Reese is kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. So he could certainly see some positional flexibility. I'd be surprised if he went 2. I think 3 is kind of where the movement could start. I think CeCe Mauigoa from Miami, the right tackle, I think he fits in perfectly with Arizona. Kyler Murray's gone. They got Jacoby Brissett. They got Gardner Minshew. They're going to need some protection. They don't have a right tackle right now. I think that's just a natural fit.
Cardinals fans, just a brutal existence.
That's really tough.
I mean, I know that I'm not saying this is a bad pick. Like, you're right. This is probably a smart pick. You need to rebuild. You have to start with like a cornerstone for your foundation, but that just feels awful.
Yeah, they're in the running for sneaky, like, worst franchise.
They're the oldest franchise in the NFL.
Yeah.
And just maybe most forgotten.
Yeah, I think we had that stat last year where the Texans have more playoff wins.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm
The
pretty
Cardinals?
sure. And the Texans have been a franchise for 20 years. It's bad.
It's tough. I do have Arvell Reese going number 4 to Tennessee. I think he can be pretty similar to guys that Robert Saleh's had in the past, whether you view him as an edge rusher exclusively like a Nick Bosa, or even like a stand-up linebacker like a Fred Warner. It's a similar body type too.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why don't you just shut up and tell us the trades you have in your mock draft?
I actually didn't do any trades.
What?
Bad mock
did.
draft.
Chaos?
What?
I didn't. No
I
chaos.
need the trades.
Trades are generated by quarterbacks, quarterback needy teams. Right now we have Ty Simpson, who is, potentially a first rounder. Where does he go? You have to match up need with supply.
Wait, so you-
right now there's not a lot.
So you think that Simpson is still...
Did you just invent supply and demand? Need with supply.
Wait, so you think that Simpson is in the maybe a first rounder realm?
I think
it feels like, listen, like anybody who played quarterback is obsessed with Ty Simpson.
I know Dan Orlovsky's super high on him. I think he ends up going in the first round. Where in the first round? He could go as high as number 2. Like, if the Jets love him, they're obviously one of the teams that has a quarterback need. Do they go? Arizona obviously has a quarterback need. That's really, really high. I would be surprised if he goes top 3, but those are teams that need quarterback.
Well, and the Jets have another pick in the first round, right?
They do.
So
They
what?
do.
Why you getting that?
he's
Oh,
That
cheeky
so
smile,
great.
cheeky
do,
smile.
they do.
Are you telling me that the Jets are going to go, well, let's wait and see. Sorry, keep going.
Where are we going? We're sliding all the way
We're
down.
to 9.
Okay.
Caleb Downs going all the way to 13.
Yeah. Can we maybe slide back up to the first? There are a couple I just want to touch on.
What?
The first graphic. Sorry.
You're gonna You're gonna go pick by pick.
There's not that we're going. We're
Okay,
just
all
we're
right,
just doing
all right,
15.
yeah,
We're just doing
all right.
15.
32.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom actually.
It's so nice not to care about this.
He worked very hard on this.
Yeah, the Giants are an interesting spot. Do they go running back again in the top 5 of the draft with Jeremiah Love? I have them going Sonny Styles, linebacker, fits a need there. The Browns have 2 first-round picks. I have them going with an offensive tackle, Ryen Russillo, out of Georgia, and then Jeremiah Love I have going to the
Good pick.
Commanders.
Good pick.
That'd be nice.
They just signed Rashad White, Bill Krosky-Merritt. A little bit disappointing based on the hype. Sorry, T-Bob, what do you got?
Well, no, I was jumping ahead, so get your love thoughts out. Because I do want to ask about Tate.
Yes, Cardinal Tate. I mean, Ohio State. They obviously have. They've been wide receiver U lately. They have had success with Chris Olave. He's like maybe 1 concussion away from his career being over.
Yeah.
So Cardinal Tate, I think, makes a lot of sense going to Saints to help out Tyler Shuck.
Why do you have Tate as the first receiver off the board?
Well, if we actually
like a Tyson or somebody else.
If we go to the next graphic,
all right.
They're all gonna be pretty clumped together. I have Mekhi Lemon going 11 to Miami team, also very receiver needy without Tyreek Hill, obviously, and then Jalen Waddle they just traded. Jordan Tyson, I think, is certainly a very interesting prospect. I'm falling a little bit just because of the offseason circuit. He hasn't done as much, and he also dealt with a bunch of injuries. His brother actually plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Could be an interesting match if he were to be selected by the Browns in the mid-20s.
Mansour Lane to the Chiefs looks strong.
Yes.
Caleb Downs to the Rams would be like.
Yeah, that's crazy too. That's
yeah, I mean,
insane.
They played a lot of 3 safety looks this past season, so I could certainly see the top safety if he is available at that spot being a choice there. I have Reuben Bain Jr., who's kind of the most polarizing figure in the first round based on arm length, 30 and 7/8 inches, which is very, very short. I think it's the bottom 3 edge rushers ever since they started keeping track of this, like in the early 90s. It's going to be tough for him, I think, to go in the top 10 based on that. I think the Ravens are the perfect spot where they need an edge rusher. Eric DeCosta is an established GM. They have that culture. They can bring him in and not really see as much ripple effect.
All right, there you go, guys.
Wait, where's the?
Also,
you gonna
shout out
get the Bears
Spencer for
pick?
no.
Where'd the
Give it
Bears
Joey
take?
Burry.
They wanted to the top 15.
But who?
Well, just say it.
You
Just
haven't
say it.
say it.
Just say
The Bears picking at 25, Keldrick Falk, edge rusher out of Auburn. Very young.
They
Love
say
it.
this guy's a
Great
freak.
pick.
They
That's
say
a
this
great
guy's a
pick.
freak.
But he wasn't
That's a
that
steal
good,
of the
though,
draft.
right?
What?
He wasn't that good last year?
He wasn't very productive, but like everybody talks about, he's just a physical monster.
Where did Ty Simpson go?
16 to the Jets.
Oh,
There you
we
go,
just
dude.
missed it.
All
That
right.
was the good stuff.
All right,
That was a perfect amount of space for that. You just stopped at the Bucks.
Welcome back, Wake Up Barstool. All right, guys, so we are in Chicago, and it was a very funny moment yesterday when all the Chicago boys in the office started hooting and hollering, sprinting upstairs to film videos as the Chicago Bulls fired the front office boys. Congratulations. Congrats. Cleaning house. Again, no guarantee of success.
No.
But
No.
it had to happen.
You
A
guys
step
don't
in the
look
right
happy at all.
direction.
I was happy yesterday, but I don't know about you, Eddie. And we can maybe get into more of it in the second hour. The same owners still own the team. So it was great in the moment because you wanted them to do the thing that they should have done. But at the end of the day, the guys who fired him are the guys who are going to make the next hire.
Exactly. It's a step in the right direction, but there's still a long way to go.
The best analogy I saw, someone said it online, it's essentially like your toddler is doing something that you all expected. Like the toddler, went to the bathroom on his own or her own. Is a 4-year-old, and you're like, here's a sticker, but that's also what you should be doing. You should be firing the guy that was objectively the worst general manager in the NBA, like not even close. And that, like, he was so bad, and this team was so bad, it had no direction, that I want to be happy, but it's like, dude, you should have done it a while ago, and I don't know if I can give you full credit for doing something that was so painfully obvious that anyone would have fired him.
Potty training's hard, though, dude.
It
I
is.
mean, I'm going through it right now. My son's, my son's, for older two are fine, but my son's like over 3 now.
Oh, yeah.
And he calls me a poopy pants constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you literally poop
Yeah,
your
you're the
pants
one.
every single day. Like, I don't want to hear it.
No,
You poop your pants all the time.
all 3 of my kids, I waited till they were like 3.5, and then they were so old that I was like, all right, go in the toilet now. They're like, okay.
Yeah, eventually.
That was potty
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
Yeah.
No problem.
Is there a front office name, real quick? Front office hires are weird. Like, is there a name out there that could excite you?
People are talking about Bob Myers and Mike Dinwiddie Jr. Like, that would be, like I said, a step in the right direction, I think. But
Okay.
Sam Presti.
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly.
Make him a Godfather offer. Why not?
Yeah,
This is what I don't understand about a team like the Chicago Bulls. They are one of the most valuable franchises in the NBA, in all of sports. You have unlimited money, Michael Reinsdorf and Jerry Reinsdorf. The one thing that doesn't count against the salary cap is your scouting and your GM and your front office. Give all the money to that. Go get Theo Epstein. Like, that's what the Cubs did. That's what good franchises do. They go and they get the smartest guy who's the best for the job, and they say, hey, we don't know anything about basketball. Here's the keys. Go make us a winner. But they're not going to do it. But that's what you got to do. They're like, it's so ridiculous to not do that. Especially Jerry Reinsdorf just sold the majority of the White Sox. You can't take it with you, Jerry. You're 90 years old. Get a winner. You can't take it with you.
He might.
I don't understand what like, just spend all the money on a good GM.
Hour 2, Supreme Debate, coming up next. Welcome back, guys. Hour 2 of Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. If you want to get involved, you can go on Twitter, like every day, #AskWub. We'll get to your queries at the end of the show. Right now, though, every single Tuesday we do it. It's time to once again engage in Supreme Debate, where we have the tough conversations no one else is willing to have. Let's start with Eddie. Eddie, what do you got?
Gino Auriemma won the weekend.
Oh, wow.
Just from an entertainment perspective.
Bold take.
That's it.
What's wrong with you, man?
That's it. He didn't. Listen, I had to find a way for the.
I know. This makes perfect sense.
Why?
Gino Auriemma and what he did after the game on Friday night.
No, I know what you're gonna do.
Was the most anyone has ever been like Coach K without being Coach K. It was.
I was about to say
a terrible loss, making up excuses for why you lost and why the other team wasn't classy that were verifiably incorrect.
Yeah.
Saying Dawn Staley did not shake my hand before the game. Boom, picture of Dawn Staley. Sarah Strong got her jersey ripped. Boom, picture Sarah Strong ripping her jersey. It was Dylan Brooks all over again.
Listen,
it was like Shire.
You loved it.
Listen.
You loved it because that was Coach K.
Did they have a good crop of girls, Ed?
Yeah.
Good crop of
they did, certainly. You watched to be entertained. It wasn't a very, very entertaining Final Four or championship on the men's side. That was the most entertaining part of the weekend.
But Dawn Staley, and then the transitive property, Dawn Staley, did you see after she lost to UCLA? UCLA, incredible, dominant performance. They gave up 95 points in the entire Final Four. Insane. She said, like, oh, well, at least we lost to someone, classy or something. So she got transitive property Coach K, too. It's spreading.
Yeah, listen, I get it. So, but at the end of the day, like I said, Gino Auriemma, his situation.
Coach K. You had a little. It was Coach K reincarnated in a women's basketball.
It was like Shire earlier this year making up the punch, following Coach K's footsteps.
He was there ready for the handshake.
I mean, to your point though, Ed, it is crazy that the Final Four ends and you have the championship and all anybody's talking about is the semifinal post-game handshake.
What are you gonna remember?
Gino.
Yeah, I mean the games weren't great.
Yeah.
Astronomical levels of a-hole there.
Yeah.
Nikki, what do you got?
Yeah, the Masters Champions dinners today. Rory gets to pick. Some of his biggest competition's eating. Pick poison.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a real competitor.
Ooh, so specifically a poison that you've, like Princess Bride, that you've inoculated yourself to.
Or you know what to avoid at the dinner. If you're a real competitor, poison the other guys.
I like this.
The competition starts today.
This is a good idea.
I've been taking small amounts of cyanide for months now. You cannot mess with me.
It's a really good idea.
I mean, you have all of your enemies in one room together and you get to pick what they eat.
What did he choose? I can't read this. I think it was a pretty standard fare. I mean,
pretty
it looks
good, yeah.
great.
All right.
It looks great. Good rundown. But nothing exotic though, right?
Oh no, I actually remember he did okay except for the peach and ricotta flatbread. Like, what is that, dude? Just do a pepperoni pizza. You don't have to be crazy.
That's a good flavor.
No.
Oh, I would love a bacon.
Do we agree that
wrapped
pizza's an appetizer?
Yeah, but that's why I think he did it like where it's like, oh, it's got peach on it, so it's kind of, yes, pizza can be an appetizer. Why couldn't it?
Pizza's a meal.
Right, but it could also be an appetizer. Like,
I guess
The producer Meyer just said flatbread. That's pizza.
Yeah,
that's
flatbread
pizza.
is
Don't pretend it's not
Flatbread.
But is it meal versus appetizer? Is that just dependent on the amount of slices?
Yeah.
Bar
Yeah.
pie's an appetizer.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is
I don't think.
You split
Yeah.
it between amongst people?
Are wings an entree or an appetizer?
both.
Right? Exactly. They,
I think
they
that's
too can bridge
the
gap.
only one that's both.
By the way,
But
just
is
so
that
we're clear,
volume
all right, here's my embrace mate. Everything can be everything.
Everything can be an appetizer?
Yeah.
You can't have a steak as an appetizer.
Of course you can. Little bites of steak.
I do like places you go that give you like a sampler or a couple ribs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can go. You can get a steak
So-
family
so
style. Like,
really-
hey, we're gonna split a steak.
So what we're landing on then is appetizers just volume dependent.
Correct.
It's just about how much.
It's about the
food you're
bite
getting.
size.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, there you go. We solved it. Also, Rory, you should poison your enemies.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I mean,
a lot.
well, it makes all
It's
the sense in
foolish
the
that
world.
nobody's thought of this.
Yeah.
Cheah, what do you got?
I hate to admit this because
I can tell.
I didn't wanna like this. I think Anthony Davis's prank show Foul Play is gonna be a hit.
I caught like 30 seconds of it.
I couldn't keep my eyes
good?
off it. It wasn't, but I couldn't look away.
But this is also, we knew this about you. You are, I've said this a million times, the beauty of Stephen Cheah and why he's on this show, why he's on the Yak, why he's in our world is Stephen Cheah is the most generic dude in America, in that like every corporate office, they sit there and they say, how can we capture the Stephen Cheahs of the world?
He's a
Because-
silent majority?
Yeah, there's a millions of them out there, and he's easy to tickle. He's easy to get his attention. You just gotta like.
He is
like
the consumer.
yes, when like Applebee's or Chili's puts a menu item, they're thinking about him. Like he is the guy. He is the most. Because think about it. I've said this story before, but the way Stephen Cheah found out about Barstool. Like a lot of people find out about Barstool because we were the underground blog, like Risque, hot chicks, all this stuff. Stephen Cheah found out about Barstool because I did a 10-minute hit on Mike and Mike before I ate in the hot dog
Hell yeah.
conversation. That's the type of guy. Like he would show up
did not
to the
know
office and be at the water cooler talking about, did you hear what Mike said today? No, which Mike? Mike. Like that's what he would do every day.
It's like when you see those commercials and it's like this is the number one show on ABC.
Yeah.
And you're like,
you've never
Big
heard
Bang
of it.
Theory,
It's-
yeah.
It's like they're 13 seasons in. Who is watching this? It's Steve.
Yeah, he would talk to his coworkers and just be like, "Hey, did you hear about Greenie's wife? She sleeps with her socks on."
I'm excited to get home and watch Tracker.
What's the pitch? Like what really hooked you?
So I saw the commercials and I'm like, this looks so bad. So, you watch the championship presentation, watch One Shining Moment, and it just comes on. And it's like, all right, you got Draymond set up in here to be a fake investor, and they're going to ask him for $100 million. And then he's
Saw
going
that
to get
clip. It was
mad.
kinda good.
And you got Anthony Davis and LeBron behind the scenes, and Rich Paul's in there. And you're just watching them concoct a very scripted, I think it was a pretty bad prank, but I could not keep my eyes off it. It was so interesting, but terrible. So I guess it's like a guilty pleasure kind of, but I found myself watching the next, and we had to wake up early for this show. I was watching Rakia Jackson getting pranked with a parking lot attendant. It was a fun watch. I think it's gonna be a hit.
The Anthony Davis portion of this to me is the most mind-boggling.
He's not good at it.
He's
not good.
His line
He is the least.
delivery
He is
was
one of the least
abysmal.
charismatic
Yes.
people that
Yeah.
we have, and he is now embodying the role of Ashton Kutcher.
It is a carbon copy of Punk'd because he has someone in his ear. They're behind the scenes like watching it, and he comes out. He's like, "You got played." We all know what that means. Yeah, I mean the name of the show is Foul
I'm
Play,
back in.
but it's so funny and maybe not in the way they intended, but I loved watching it.
All right. Well, good for you, I suppose. I did like the Draymond clip, though, to be honest. When I saw
it's-
that it was,
it's
I did
It's
watch
good.
it.
You
I actually
can't keep
watched
your
the
eyes off
entire thing when they put it out. All right. So, human beings flying around the moon, right? Pretty cool. Yesterday, they set the record As they surpassed Apollo 13's record, they were over 250,000 miles away from Earth, the farthest a human being's ever been. So I have a would you rather. Would you rather your favorite NFL team have a franchise quarterback that is going to guarantee you Super Bowl relevance for 15 years? Not Super Bowl win, but you're always going to be in the mix, franchise quarterback, or...
This is the worst would you rather ever.
This better be good.
Would you want to be one of those astronauts? One of the people who set the record being farthest from the Earth.
T-Bob, one of those astronauts, can you name some?
Look at me.
Yeah.
Christina Koch,
Would you
Victor
rather-
Glover,
would you
Reed
rather be
Wiseman, and the
happy-
Canadian Jeremy Hansen.
Would you rather be happy and watch your favorite NFL team play awesome football for a really long time or go on a really long flight?
No, guys, it's not just a really long
With
flight.
a broken toilet
No,
and it's cold.
You're literally
and
doing
cramped.
something no other human being has ever
food.
done.
I don't care at all about this thing, by the way.
Oh.
We were watching yesterday, and I was trying to muster up a take, and I've landed on this. Call me when we go to Mars. I don't care at all about going around Moon.
I'm all for human feats.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Mars is the next thing.
Jerry,
we did the Moon. Let me know when we're at Mars.
T-Bob, can we role play a little bit? Can you be one of these astronauts, and can you tell me that
Tell you what.
you're one of those guys that were the furthest from the Earth?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
Shut up. The Steelers are on.
Yeah,
And they have a franchise
Patrick
quarterback.
Mahomes.
And
Yeah.
T-Bob, they're Super Bowl relevant.
Yeah.
So shut up.
yeah.
Do you know how the Earth, I saw the Earth. I saw the Earth from the moon.
Cool. We're in our third Super Bowl in the last 5 years.
It's crazy. Like,
Yeah, dude,
no
I saw
gravity.
the picture.
You want to know what it's like to pee in space?
No.
Do you want to know what it's like to eat honey?
I just updated my Twitter bio to 5-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, I just got to add another trophy emoji.
The Super Bowl just seems so small from my perspective now that I've seen what I've seen.
I bet you'd get depressed. A guy like you.
Oh yeah, you'd come back, you'd be like, it's just such a small little pale blue
Our
dot.
life is-
No. We should track down Victor Glover's speech that he gave yesterday. It was unplanned, it was impromptu, and it was quite beautiful.
It was unplanned.
It was unplanned.
Yeah, right.
so
okay, dude who's
They
going
are
on
so
as far as
God,
possible.
No,
and
they
all
are
of a
so-
sudden it's like, oh, I'm so far, I'm the farthest anyone's ever been away from Earth. Oh, this speech just...
We're not gonna hate
I wish
on
I had
dual
something
sport
prepped for
D1
this
athlete
moment.
Victor Glover here on the show, who just set a record.
I'm not
for being
hating
the
on
furthest
it,
from
but I'd rather have a quarterback.
Yeah, and I don't care. They're on a long flight.
I think I'd rather win like a future.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Cheah, would you rather be one of those astronauts or like find $100 once a year?
Ooh, once a year
Yeah.
in perpetuity?
Yeah.
Probably that. Because
Yeah.
Find $100, and I'm.
I'd rather lose 5 pounds. Like I would if you're like, oh, you
No,
can
this
lose
is
5
not going to
pounds.
become a would you rather, and you're just going to do menial things over
Yeah.
this. This is amazing. You're
Would you
not
rather
going to do this.
Would you rather be one of the astronauts or never have to brush your teeth again?
Oh, easily the brush
Oh
your teeth.
yeah.
Yeah.
T-Bob, the
Easily.
disrespect is getting crazy.
Shout out to Carol Wiseman.
These guys are some of the smartest, bravest people that have ever existed.
Rest in peace. They discovered
Listen.
a new moon crater. They named it after Reed Wiseman's late wife, Carol. Shout out to the Carol
Why?
crater.
What does that
Wait,
even
you
mean? They
can't
just
name a
saw a big
crater after-
hole.
Yep. A new moon hole. A
Listen,
new moon
I'm
hole.
not saying that these people aren't impressive. Like, it probably speaks a lot to our society that the astronauts are not more famous and more like applauded. But guess what? The NFL runs the world.
Yeah.
The little thing you're looking back at, that's the NFL's. Okay, they're looking back at Roger Goodell's Earth.
Katy
but
Perry.
Victor
did this.
Glover runs the moon. Okay, back off. Guys.
Naming a crater is like.
Anyway,
It's also like, how do you didn't discover a crater? It's just
they
been
did
there-
discover a crater.
That's what
been there for-
discovery.
They observed it.
That's what discovery is finding something.
Yeah,
No,
they're
it's-
not inventing.
You're
not
confusing
inventing stuff.
discovery with invention.
Yeah, they didn't invent it.
So you're saying you're basically saying you'd rather be a Bears fan than be one of these astronauts. Interesting. Interesting.
If you're ready to call
All right.
Caleb Williams 15-year franchise quarterback, yeah, that'd be
Yeah, I
awesome.
think so.
That Packers game?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So every now and then, our best mind, Nikki Clicky, cooks up a Venn diagram to explain sports, essentially. And we're here at the beginning of a new MLB season. Nick has once again been in the lab. And how it's going to work this time is we're going to look at all the connective tissue and we're going to attempt to discern what is bringing it all together. Nikki, take it away. I'll be running support here on the Telestrator.
Yeah, so we're going to break this Venn down section by section. And so the titles are no longer on the Venn.
Oh, no.
That's for you men to guess what the titles are.
Oh, no.
So right now, let's start in this quadrant right here. What do you think the overlap is right here?
Okay, but Jeter and the Dodgers.
I'm so bad at this.
Championships?
This is gonna be tough.
It's something worth celebrating. Let's give one away. This one's having an insane roster.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know whose is more impressive. Yes, I do. One has Tyra Banks. Okay? So now, let's go to this middle one. We have the Dodgers, the Yankees, Stephen Cheah, and Kenny from Backyard Baseball.
What was Kenny's last name? Kalagawa?
Yes.
Kawaguchi, right?
Kawaguchi.
Oh, Kawaguchi, excuse me. Yeah. Asian?
AI?
No, that would be
That's Asian.
Yeah, that's Asian up there.
Look at Kenny. And look at Steve. Specifically that picture of Steve.
Smiley?
Happy?
And it's the Dodgers and Yankees as well. Do you want it?
Yeah,
Yes.
what is it? What do we got?
Gentlemen, it's Can't Stand.
Oh, okay. Love that. Love that. That's a great one.
And of course, T-Bob, you already got the one above.
Yep, there we go.
It is-
Okay,
it
that's
is
Asian.
It is
Yep.
Asian.
Can't stand is great.
Let's go to the next. So this one, I got in a little trouble. We have some
Okay.
things that are redacted. But let's say this middle one is hypothetically, a former Catholic president.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So, and then which one are we trying to figure out?
Let's
This one
guess.
right here?
Let's guess in here.
Okay,
up
yellow
here.
in here. Okay.
Gunnar
So that's
Henderson, Cal
JFK.
Ripken, and Marilyn Monroe. Okay. Yeah. What about it?
In Maryland or in Maryland.
Okay. Okay.
Also redacted.
Okay.
Oops.
Got it.
Okay.
Love that.
So now we have this one right here. Oh, I'm sorry. We have this blurred figure, former president. It's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Don't want to say who it is.
Yep.
And the Astros.
Okay.
JFK, Astros. I mean, what are the Astros known for? The can scandal?
Yeah. Astros.
Get a little ahead of yourself. Think about their facility, their stadium.
Okay. Minute Maid.
The Hill.
Is it Minute Maid? No. Wasn't it? What was it?
Minute Maid?
Nice hit
Enron.
runners right here that might help with this.
Well, yeah, I got the nice hit gunner. I understand that.
What's their stadium have? A feature of tech.
A retractable
A
roof.
retractable roof in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Retractable roof in Texas, boys.
Love it.
Worked
Great
out
work,
better-
T-Bob.
worked out better for the
Fantastic work,
Astros
T-Bob.
than it
And then you
did.
were close with this one. We have DD and the Astros. T-Bob, you said it.
Cans?
Banging cans.
Banging cans.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
there we
right.
go, dude.
That's right. All right, let's go to the next one here. Okay, not allowed to show this former Ray.
Oh, okay.
But we
Yeah.
have, yes, let's have the Padres, Connor Griffin, and a former arrested Ray.
A Wanderer. No?
No, Ed, it's get him out of the minors.
Get him out of the minors.
Get him out of the minors, Ed. I understand why a
So
lot of
good.
these were redacted.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
That
I
makes
don't know
sense.
what I was thinking. Okay, so now we have Connor Griffin and COVID.
Connor Griffin and COVID.
This one's gettable.
Things we hate.
Young.
No, that would be the other one.
Pirates.
COVID what?
Nations.
COVID
19. They're 19.
19.
There we go, dude.
Yep.
And so now we have Sammy Sosa.
Not a
and
minor.
COVID.
Okay. Sammy Sosa and COVID.
Think of
Shots. Taking shots.
no, not quite. Think of maybe some people. Yes.
Oh.
What was court?
Bat.
Something's up with that bat, Ed.
Oh yeah.
Something is up with
There we
that
go.
bat.
Got it.
All right, let's move on to the last one, and then we can just kind of bounce around if we want.
Okay.
The last one here, it's just this one, right? We have career with Hammer, we have Judge, Mason, Carpenter, Smith, and then we have King of the Hill father and son with Hank and Bobby.
Okay.
But this middle one right here, what is it?
There's Dana. Easter League minor. Those are summer leagues, summer beers.
That's baseball.
That would be the whole kind of Venn, I'd imagine.
He thought he had it.
That would just be one big circle
Oh,
around the
man.
entire thing.
He thought
But
he had
pretty
it.
good, I guess technically correct.
Yeah.
1 point, Stephen Cheah.
Yeah. I don't know. I need it.
Tornadoes.
What level are these guys?
It's not mine.
Oh.
Minors. No, it's summer league.
And then how would you spell both of these guys' names, and where does he need to go?
college.
Barnstorming.
Double A?
How do we spell his name?
Judge.
Double A. Okay. That's double A.
Oh.
He got to go to AA.
AA. This is the AA circle, boys. 1 point, Big Cat. 1 point, Big Cat. Fantastic work. And then that's the last of the game. But I guess if you guys just want to wander around this,
Oh
feel free.
my gosh.
Shouldn't have said that word either.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
What is needs
Green
to get
Monster.
inside of?
Needs to get inside of that. That's one of the female Mets mascots.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she
Got
is.
it.
Hey, she
Yeah,
is
that's
pretty.
those
You
are
got,
things
and
you
then
gotta-
Booty,
And then
Pirates,
Wrigley.
and Cal.
Fenway,
Big
great
cows.
stadiums.
Yep.
Banging cans. We have twins, small breasts, big breasts, DDAs.
Wins.
Just single D. And then Eldrick Wood's nickname and half of his identity. That's Tiger and Ty.
Oh,
Yeah, behind a boys' locked door during puberty, we have nutting and white socks.
and Randy
With a
Johnson.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, with a Randy Johnson.
Yeah, that's right.
Horned up.
Who's the horn player there?
That's the horn player for the when.
Edwin Diaz.
comes
Oh,
out.
okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Who's that Red Sox player?
Duran.
Ah, yeah, he can't. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
can't
that
say
makes
that.
sense. Yep.
Change his skin.
Yep.
Oh, there's
Snakes.
Sosa. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's also in Change His Skin.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is just a refresher cheat sheet on baseball. Fresh Prince. We have Will Smith, Prince, Banks.
These are
That's great.
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Nick.
thank you
love
boys
it.
for playing.
I feel ready for the MLB season
Yes.
now,
Yeah.
dude. I feel
Yes.
locked in, dialed in. Again, guys, that's going to be online.
Handstand was unbelievable.
You can peruse it at your own pleasure. It's like an onion, just continues to reveal itself the more you sit with it. All right, coming up next, we still got Russillo coming on a little bit later in the show. Do you care? And apparently, I was going to mention space, but you know, no. Seems like that's a resounding no. All right, welcome back to WUB, guys. So we all have free will, and all too often we feel chained to the burden of expectation to have a take on everything, especially in this business. So we're going to play a little game of Do You Care, where you're allowed to exercise your right not to care. A bunch of different topics. We'll start here.
I have breaking news, by the way.
What's going on?
Luka Doncic got injured, just so everyone knows. Magic Johnson just tweeted, "I'm devastated about Luka Doncic's injury because he was having an MVP season. He should definitely be first team All NBA."
Dude, I forgot he was
got
having
injured.
an MVP season
He got
until
injured.
Magic.
He's been in
that
it.
out.
What did it happen?
Wow.
Like this
Thank you,
morning?
Magic.
It's over a week ago.
Yeah, I know that's the joke, Steven. That Magic just tweeted about. He just tweeted about Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic's injury.
Can't stand.
Cannot stand. That's like 5 days late. It's so funny.
Man, MVP season, like.
Yeah.
He's in the running.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He's not
everyone's
top
in the
three.
running. Anyone who
Three or
played
four.
enough. Actually, he's not in the running. Did he play enough games?
With this missing, he might be under it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would be.
Yeah, look, this one too. Austin Reeves was injured, what,
Oh,
3 days
I didn't even
ago?
consider the playoffs are right around the corner.
Oh, no.
Way.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, Lakers
He
fans.
must have some sort of inside source.
Yeah. He's getting it before us. Sorry.
All right, no, speaking of basketball, it's fine. It's perfect. Angel Reese traded from the sky to the dream. Cheah,
I care.
Okay, I'm
I
about to
care.
say,
Yeah.
somebody has to step in here. You're your only hope on this one.
Skytown takes a turn. WNBA is weird right now because they just signed a new collective bargaining agreement. 102 players are free agents. Watch, I'm going to name the whole Sky roster. Camila Cardoza, Maddie Westbeld, Haley Van Lith. That's it. They got 3 players.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the whole league's going to look very different.
Is
in the
that
next,
because
like,
the news?
month.
Everybody was waiting on the new CBA to come
The new
out?
CBA, there was the expansion draft last week, and then free agency is starting like today, basically.
Angel Reese in Atlanta is kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this guy got a couple picks back. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I saw you tweet about like Giannis should just ask to be traded. Like this is a team trading a player on the earlier side, but she had 2 years left of control before she was a restricted free agent. She was going to leave, and they weren't going to pay her. So this is in long term the right move, even though it kind of stinks. She's a good player.
All right, here's one that I think most are going to care about. According to Adam Schefter, a Bears stadium decision is looming. Now, again, you've probably read a headline like that a million times, but I think this kind of piece to highlight here is that basically they're saying that if Illinois does not pass legislation for Arlington Heights soon, that the sources believe that the Bears will indeed be Indiana bound.
I am officially nervous.
Yeah, I think it has a real shot at happening.
Yeah. I've been talking tough, being like Indiana's not happening. It's all just politics. I'm officially nervous.
But it has been a large game of tug of war. Like right when you think one side's like really in, then the other side comes back over the top.
So you know what? I'm gonna say undeterred and say it's gonna be Arlington Heights. I don't care.
I mean, if they move to Indiana, you guys can't ever win a football argument online ever again.
No, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be
right?
really tough.
Your team's in Indiana.
Yeah, no, they're going to just say Indiana Bears.
And I know that a lot of this is based on maybe like where you live in the city, and a lot of people point out, well, like look at the Chiefs and like all these other situations or look at the Jets and everything. But like, I don't know. In my mind, it just feels uncool.
It's not only uncool, but
dumb.
Here's the thing.
It feels dumb for the Bears to be in Indiana.
Here's the problem too. A lot of people say, well, it's, and it is. For people who are watching this show who don't live in the Midwest or in Chicagoland, like, Indiana is very close to Chicago. It's 25, 30 minutes. It's essentially a suburb. The problem is, for the entire north side of the city and north suburbs, that is a haul now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's where I think gets a little confusing, where it's like there's a lot of people who live in the north suburbs, northwest suburbs, and like that's now, a hell of a commute to go to a Bears game.
I mentioned
It's
that,
gonna stink.
and I got like shouted down by a lot of people who live on the south side of the city, which again, I understand. Everybody's just looking out for themselves, but also from a money perspective, like there's so much built-in money on the north side of the city, right?
Point. They never
I
will.
wish, but yeah, they won't. I mean,
Well,
thing's
if they moved to Indiana, they would be saving a lot of money. That would be the cost play.
Who cares?
That's what I'm saying. The argument for Indiana is they would save a lot of money.
Yeah.
The argument for
Right.
Arlington Heights is like keep it in Illinois, and
that's where a majority
well, and they
of
would
the
make
season
more
ticket
money
holders are.
long term. If you're trying to build an entire entertainment venue, you have a ton of people built in.
That's the part that's also crazy to me. I think if you've been build an entertainment place in Arlington Heights, I think a lot of people will go. No offense to Indiana and Hammond. I don't know if the entertainment, like, people aren't going to use that as a destination. You know what I mean? That's where
Right by O'Hare.
that's where I think the Bears are making a mistake, is if your idea is to build this entire megaplex that people are going to go to all the time in off season, I don't think that's happening in Hammond. Like, I don't think people are saying, oh, let's go down to Hammond, in the middle of March to go to the shopping malls and all that stuff. They will do that in Arlington Heights.
I mean, the only reason to go was a casino before, and now there's a lot of casinos here, so there's really...
All right, last one here. Craig Counsell struggles with some Cheah here. A lot of people saying, they saw this video and they're like, oh, I remember my first time. This guy knows how to chew. Sometimes it just happens to just swallow a little bit. Your tummy gets a little upset. Like, if you think this is Craig Counsell's first time, then you don't.
Yeah, but I do care. This is a bad look.
No, this happened to me Saturday. It's
a bad look, though, and you're the skip.
I swear.
You're the manager.
What was it?
It was a pouch.
Really? A pouch got you?
So not even like...
And he got by a pouch.
Eddie,
Pretty sad.
you're the skip. You're the manager. The Cubs have started bad this year.
Yeah,
you look to this guy to be a leader, and that's a nerd move. I said he needs to do a press conference. He needs to address this.
Certainly a
Sometimes,
gif of your manager choking won't come back to haunt you.
Like, sometimes you swallow the fumes, And
The fumes do get you.
Yeah.
fumes.
But Eddie, this is supposed to be a leader of men. I care.
Yeah, it was Easter. I don't know. Like,
That has
It
nothing
was,
to
it
do
was
with
Easter. That's a good point. It was Easter.
Yeah.
I didn't consider that, actually.
yeah.
He needs to go to a press conference and throw in like an entire tin of like Copenhagen Straight and be like, look, guys, I got this.
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
All right, coming up next, we got Ryen Russillo joining the show a lot. of basketball to get to, including will West Virginia be this year's Nebraska next year after winning the crown? Very excited to get Russillo's thoughts on that. Don't go anymore. More Wake Up Barstool. What's happening, guys? Welcome back. Wake Up Barstool. And it's my pleasure to be joined by one of the legends of radio, of podcasting, of basketball. And that's Ryen Russillo, host of Ryen Russillo Show. Ryen, what's up, man? How we doing this morning?
I'm great. You guys look comfy.
Very comfy.
Thanks.
It's also still like 30 degrees here. But yeah, it is quite comfortable here in the studio. Ryen, look, there's a lot to get to. Okay, Michigan wins the national championship. We got Michael Malone going to the college ranks. NBA playoffs are looming. And so there's an obvious place to start. And that's with the West Virginia Mountaineers winning the crown. And will West Virginia be this year's Nebraska next year? I'm guessing is this success now at the Crown Tournament a predecessor for the successes of tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Similar programs, similar cultures.
Yep.
So you would think, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Ryen, here's what happened. Earlier in the show, T-Bob was reading it, and he was like, he read the question out loud. He's like, this is under Russillo's prep sheet. And I said, do not ask Russillo that question. That is the dumbest question ever. And then I was like, actually, you know what? Do ask him that question for his thoughts on West Virginia and Nebraska basketball. Russillo, great to have you on. Eddie and I were talking about it earlier. The big news yesterday, the Bulls front office cleaned house. We are, the way I put it is, I'm giving them a sticker, but it's something they should have done, and I don't really know if we should be applauding the fact that they were able to actually fire the worst front office in all of the NBA. What do the Bulls do next? Should we have any optimism that they can do this right, because it's still the Reinsdorfs and they still are cheap and don't really care about winning basketball games?
Yeah, this wasn't a great run here. I actually liked the Giddey trade for what it was worth when it happened. You know, you were like, hey, I think Giddey's actually better when he's on the ball, and OKC just couldn't play him off the ball. So like that was the kind of trade where you're like, I think that's smart, because there were so many people that were against it because, you know, again, Caruso's such a terrific player and he's such a good role player, but it's such a brutal run. The Patrick Williams contract is still, I mean, I don't even blame him necessarily for drafting him, because there's a lot of like huge guys that are athletic that you think can maybe be a little bit more of a perimeter player, and you just get really excited about him. And then it's like, oh, this isn't going to work out. And then they're like, wait, somebody else might like him. All right, 4-year extension. So there's just move after move with them, even these moves where it was like the first time they got really active. Like everybody would always talk about how inactive they were. And they're like, you guys want to see some action? We're going to do this. Who used to be a first rounder? Boom. We're picking them up.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I don't know if the Ivy thing was like the final straw, but whatever, that's its own topic there. The biggest problem, and as we were seeing this weird stretch, you know, these 20 plus games to go, which is like the worst part of the NBA season, and we knew this was going to happen after the trade deadline, is you're going to have a third of the league looking to tank. And so Chicago, for whatever reasons, like sometimes I admired the fact that they were going, hey, we don't want to be that team. Right? Because that goes against everything that we're excited about in sports, right? When you talk to guys that play, it's like, I never want to be in that position. Football people get so mad at basketball people for it. But the problem is with the restrictions and how hard it is to trade now, how nobody goes to free agency because they just sign an extension. If they want out, then they'll just ask out later on. There's really no path. There's no path in this game unless they play 10 on 10. There's no path other than tanking. And the Bulls decided to be like the altruistic program here and decide like we're never going to do those things. It's like, well, this is actually even worse, because now you end up with one of the least appealing rosters in the NBA.
Yeah. Who would be the first call you would make for this position?
To be the GM of the Bulls?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's an obvious one. You have to make Brad Stevens say no. You do. You have to. You have to make him say no. And then you go from there.
Well, he would say no.
Well, okay, but you have to make it. You know how this works. You have to make Brad Stevens say no.
It was funnier when it was Duke. It was funnier when it was Indiana. It's not as funny with the Bulls.
I like it, though. The idea that you call him up and you're like, hey, Brad. He's like, what? What do you guys even say?
Yeah, because like at least the college one is funny because the people in the college community are like, yeah, he had that run at Butler 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And like as soon as he got to the NBA, people were telling me, they're like, Brad loves the NBA, like loves this, is so into it. And then it's like, okay, but Creighton's available. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Sam Presti?
Sure, you want to just sit
$100 million?
that?
Sam Presti?
If Presti leaves, Presti should leave for the Lakers, really.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is my whole thing with the Reinsdorfs. And like, again, yesterday had to happen. So good job on that. You don't have a salary cap on your front office, on your scouting. If you are a owner who owns one of the most valuable franchises in the NBA, it's what, third most valuable, fourth most valuable, whatever you want to say. Use every dollar to get the smartest guys in the building. They just won't do it. Like, so you can offer people a ton of money and they will leave their jobs. That's just a fact. It will happen.
Yeah, and you're right about that. I mean, Bob Myers is probably one of the best that's ever done it. You know, Presti's on the short list, but like, why would Presti go? Presti just built a juggernaut in form, like again, with more restrictions, with a team that actually doesn't want to historically pay as much as other teams have paid. And they have some reshuffling to do no matter what even happens this season because of the way their contracts are staggered out. But it makes zero sense why Presti would ever decide, like, let me go there. I mean, you just said your ownership is totally like okay with the status quo.
Right.
Give him the number. What if you offered him $100 million?
$200 million and a free trip to Artemis.
Don't you guys talk about that he's not that guy all the time? Why would he do that?
He wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, it's just crazy to me that Jerry Reinsdorf is 90 years old. And I said it earlier, you can't take it with you. Like, don't you want to be relevant for the last 5 years of your life? Like, I don't know. It's like, go get the best guy, spend the most money. They won't do these things, but I want to put pressure on it because I don't want to be, I think there's a lot of
pressure starts today.
Yeah, the pressure starts today. We know a lot of Bulls fans who are like, yesterday happened and they're like, great, we did it. No, we didn't do anything. No. The owners are still the owners.
Mm-hmm. What about this, Ryen? Some of the big news yesterday, Michael Malone going to the college ranks. Let me know if you agree with this statement. I think on one hand, it's probably never been a better time to be an NBA guy getting into college because like traditional recruiting's kind of out the window. You just pay guys and at UNC you'll have the money. And then on the other hand, like it's got to be appealing to him because everything that went wrong in Denver was front office disagreement, right? And like kind of the overall vision, like he'll have complete control over the roster there at UNC. Do you think this works out?
You know, I'm actually not into this all that much.
Really?
Yeah, I think the front office stuff with him, like, look, this is not specific to even Malone or Calvin Booth in Denver because the front office drafts the guys and it's like, oh, they really like their draft picks. You're like, no kidding. They had options of like 50 people and they went like, especially with the later picks, right? Of all the different ways you could go. But I think it's a little damning on Malone, even with a ring that, you know, I understand how stubborn these coaches are and they're going like, hey, I'm here to win every single night. But it's pretty clear like there was a little bit more talent on this team that he didn't want to play at all. So there was this Cold War going on with Malone and Calvin Booth the entire time. And then finally, like ownership just goes, hey, guess what? It's like you and your sister growing up. It's like you're both grounded. You're just like, wait, we're both fired on this whole deal. So I think when you're going to college, there has to be a level of patience that you need to have because you're dealing with younger people. And I don't know that I've ever like heard him described as super patient. So you're clearly seeing something here. Like I was going to make like a joke about any Bulls alumni and just going like, hey, why don't you have to like bring it home and make Derrick Rose the GM, you know, like, cause it's just how ridiculous this both football and basketball can become where you're like, how do I get everybody excited, especially in college campuses? Like who can I introduce at this luncheon that everyone's thrilled that is here, even if you're like, hey, can this guy coach? And you're like, I don't know. But I loved him when I was a kid. You had that, you had this UNC thing with Hubert Davis. And then when it doesn't work out, it's like, okay, now we're just going to do something completely different this time around. So I think from a tactical standpoint, I think there's no question like Malone is an awesome in-game guy, but I always felt like you can't ever develop any of these other guys. You can't do anything with any of these other bench guys. Like Peyton Watson looks like a completely different player. Granted, there's a little bit more depth because of some of the other moves that they've made since they transitioned out of the title roster. But I worry about, even though you're right, T-Bob, like it's not like you're recruiting in the old ways of recruiting, or the NFL guy that went to college football and then maybe like, hey, this actually sucks. I hate this. I'm kissing 18-year-old guys' asses. And like this thing's a joke. You still kind of have to do some of that stuff, even if you're allowed to be more specific, because you're still competing against the other big time programs. And, I'm not sure. I don't know Malone. So, I'm not professing to know him. But I think there's like a real wake up call for the professionalism of the NBA, where then all of a sudden it's like, no, you've got to go to this kid's thing. Like you have to pretend you love this kid to get him in here. And I think for a lot of pros to college guys, there's an awakening where they're like, I don't really like this.
It also
is, have to love it.
Yeah, it's also really stretching the limits to the loose connections with his daughter playing volleyball, a sophomore at UNC. It's like every year when we have the draft, the NFL draft. I always laughed. Remember when the Bears hired Mark Trestman, and they're like, "Did you know that Jay Cutler actually went to a QB camp that Mark Trestman was at when he was 18 years old?" So there's a connection there. That, like, what are we doing? That Michael Malone was a good option because his daughter plays volleyball for the next 2 years at UNC?
Good for Michael.
What happens when she graduates?
Good for Michael.
Is he like, I don't want to be here anymore?
Michael, dude.
I love that stuff, though. Yeah. I filled out the Newhouse School application.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you got?
Yeah.
Ryan, the NBA playoffs are starting soon. The top 4 teams in the East, for the most part, are set in whatever order they fall with Cleveland and New York. But the bottom 5 to 10 right now is pretty close. What team do you think could be dangerous in the Eastern Conference playoffs or be a bad matchup for a certain top contender?
Boy, the East is a mess in a good way. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think everybody's picking Philly just because it's like, hey, if they get all these guys back. Look, Embiid's going to score his 30. He's not going to play defense. He's going to foul bait, and then if you get the wrong crew in a playoff game, and then I think he's incredibly uncomfortable in high leverage situations in a close game in the playoffs, especially when he gets double teamed. So, yeah, Paul George has looked pretty good since he's come back. Max is terrific. PJ's terrific. I even think like Barlow and Oubre, like there's a good like 6 or 7 there for Philadelphia, but it's all going to center around Embiid, and I just don't trust him. I mean, he had a play last night where he got hurt just because of the way Castle dribbled. Then he came back into the game, he got his 30. He also had a play on the left side where he like told Maxey to switch to Wembanyama because he didn't want to like fight through the screen. He was like, "You got it," and then Wembanyama just dusted him. And like they're looking back, being like, "Is that the plan? Are we switching this now all the time on the side?" So I think you're going to have a lot of people really excited about Philadelphia, and I'm here to tell you to be less excited. Charlotte statistically here, from when they got healthy and when everything kind of clicked, like they're off the charts. Like some of the net rating stuff, some of the offensive, defensive rating stuff. I do wonder if they're going to be a version of the max effort, like young regular season team where they're playing like their best every single night. And then there's always this bit of a wake up call. And you're going to see it with Denver here where you go, oh, this is what this team plays like when they're totally locked in and it really matters. So, I mean, look, it still happens to me after all these years of watching all this stuff. So, look, Orlando's a mess. I think Miami's very specific, like their matchup dependent on this whole thing. So I probably like Charlotte the best of those teams. And if you wanted to go like on the 4 or 5 thing, I think Toronto's had a nice little season, but I don't really trust them because I think they're another team that if they have to score when it's really tight and it's Brandon Ingram and the defender's like very, very determined to slow down Brandon Ingram, they can get a little clogged up if they're not getting points off of turnovers, if they're not getting points off of transition. So I still think as weird as the East is, I still think those top 4 teams are likely coming out.
Ryen, real quick, as we thank you for joining us and let you go. Hey, human beings rounding the moon, pretty cool. Are you into it?
I missed it.
Yes.
Okay.
We were saying we don't care. Let me know when we go to Mars.
Okay.
That's my next.
Whatever, dude. I'm surrounded by troglodytes.
No. I've never dumped on another man's passion. I mean, obviously there's limits, but
Yeah, T-Bob is the limit. T-Bob is the limit. He's a Disney adult.
He's a Disney guy. I know Ryan's got to be.
Disney
Probably
adult.
loves. You love Disney, right, Ryen? Disney World.
no, come on, dude.
Whatever, dude. All right, whatever. Never mind. No, thank you for coming on. But the Pelicans will finally
Disney,
be good.
do you know what happens if I'm walking around Disney by myself? I've been to Disney like 8 times because of the pre-draft stuff. Like I was at the pool by myself reading a book and people were going up to security being like, why is there just a guy?
Okay, I do have 3 kids now. You know, in my defense.
Well, I understood why. And I was like, hey, I work for ESPN and I'm like hosting. And they're like, oh, we're psyched to have you. I'm like, yeah, right.
All right, man. Hey, the Pelicans are going to be good next year?
Yeah. Look, I mean,
what a bad
Just
day for
3
that.
strikes.
traffic's going to be high. So,
This is
All right. Shout out Dirk Bentley. All right, Russillo, thank you so
Dirk
much.
Bentley.
Thank you so much, man. You're the man. Have a great day, brother.
Look at his curls.
Yeah.
Oh.
He pointed the wrong way.
It's on your chest.
Ryan.
It's not even like a camera situation.
No, the camera messed me up. A little bit.
All right, Russillo, take it easy, man. Ryen Russillo Show. Everybody go subscribe.
Is
Check
it
out.
just
Not a big
Tuesday shows or is every day bad for you?
No. It's pretty much like Monday and Tuesday seem to be the worst. And Wednesday I've worked with the mostly guys a lot.
Yeah.
PFT seems to kind of like, some of my interests. So that goes well.
And Friday, those guys are off. I mean, I filled in Friday. Those guys are on another planet.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, that's just like rounding.
we're
So it's actually
the
nice,
caveman.
how we like Dave and I go back to back and we just kind of beat you up a little bit and then you coast.
And then I come
through.
back, and then I ascend right into the weekend. It's
And
great.
listen, I love you, T-Bob. You do a great job on this show.
Oh,
You
it's
do a
very
great job
kind.
hosting.
Thank you,
I just
thank you.
disagree
There's
with
gonna be a but.
pretty much every single thing you stand for.
I know.
But that's fine.
It's very funny. Just wait, dude. I'm telling you, man. I've been watching so many miniature painting videos. I'm about to start painting my Warhammer Bretonians again, Nikki. It's on, baby.
I didn't understand a word.
It's on, dude.
We got to get you on Overwatch with us.
Wait, guys, did y'all see the Masters green measurements? Did y'all see the grass measurements? It was going to be in Do You Care? Can we bring this up? It's big news. No, we can't. We're out of time. All right. Everybody have a great day. We love you. Disaster
I care about
City.
that one. Oh, no. Just bring that time.
Damn it! Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to all the golf guys. There it is. Look at this, guys. Here it is.
The details.
The Masters, in case you were wondering, and you want to know how long the grass is. And in case you're wondering as well, the mowing over the weekend and everything will be dependent on the growth. So don't worry about that, guys.
What are you working with, Big Cat? Like a fairway and a tee?
Yeah, I'm in the green.
Yeah, golf is in the air, in the office as well. Look forward to it. All right, we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. More Wake Up Barstool.